Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to look at Mind Shift. This is a strategy game for 2 or 4 players. You can't play with 3. For ages 8 and up, with the average play time being about 20 to 30 minutes. Now, the object of this game is pretty simple. Players are going to be moving their pieces throughout this ever-changing maze, and the first player to get their pieces home will win the game. So without further ado, let's take a quick look at what came in the box and how the game is played. Okay, and here's a very brief look at your components. The game comes in a tin case. You've got these large tiles here. Again, these serve as the maze that players will be trying to navigate, and these tiles have different configurations on them, these being like dividers or walls. You've got different pieces over here. Each player will take a set of pieces, and they'll be trying to move those pieces home. You've also got a cloth bag to hold them all in. Okay, now with regard to game setup, you'll go ahead and shuffle the tiles and lay them out like so. This will be your main maze here, this little donut here. And on the outside, you've got 2 player home tiles here. If you want to add 4 players to the game, you just simply put one here and put one up here. But we're just going to look at a 2-player game for today. Once you have this all set up, you'll go ahead and flip these over, being careful not to rotate them any particular way. Alright, and each of these tiles has 4 spaces on them. You've got one here, one here, one here, and one here. So what you're going to do is you're going to just simply put your pieces on each of those 4 spaces like so. And then you're ready to play the game. Alright, now the object of this game is going to be trying to move your pieces onto your opponent's home tile. So basically, yellow is trying to get over here, and red is trying to get over here. The first player that manages to do that will win the game. On your turn, you can make a total of 3 moves, and you can do a number of different things. You can take a jewel step, which is basically moving one of your pieces to an adjacent space like so. So as long as you're not moving through any sort of divider. You could rotate a tile, which is called a tile turn. Or you can shift a tile, which is basically moving an entire tile up or down. You can rotate these home tiles if you want to, but you cannot move or shift the home tiles like so. They have to remain stationary. Just to quickly show you all of that again, let's say it's yellow's turn, and yellow will go ahead and first rotate his tile because he can't move through these dividers here. So he has to rotate his tile like this, so that he can get these pieces out of here. So that's 1 move, this would be 2 moves, and then finally this would be 3 moves. Okay, now before I go, I just want to quickly cover a few miscellaneous rules that I didn't touch on yet. For one, you have to make at least 1 jewel step on your move. So one of the 3 moves that you make on your turn has to be a jewel step. If you cannot make a jewel step on your turn, you automatically lose the game. Another thing that I didn't touch on yet is the ability to jump over pieces. Let's say that this red piece was over here, and it was yellow's turn. If yellow wanted to make a jewel step, the first thing you'd have to do is rotate his tile like this, because there's a barrier on this side, or a wall, or whatever you want to call it. And then, in order to make a jewel step, the player can go ahead and jump over this red piece like this. Now, it's not like checkers, you know, the piece isn't removed from the game or anything like that, but it allows you to move 2 spaces instead of 1. Okay, one last thing I should probably mention. You cannot occupy 2 home tiles at the same time. So let's just say that the game has played out for a little bit. Pieces are all over the place. And yellow still has a piece on his starting home tile. Now, yellow's trying to get these pieces over to the other player's home tile in order to win the game. But he can't do that until he gets this piece off. So let's just say that on his turn, he goes ahead and moves his piece over like so. Now the start tile is vacant, so now he could start moving these pieces over like so. Okay, and there you have it, a very brief look at Mind Shift. Now, it's important to note that I didn't cover all of the rules found in the manual, but this should give you a nice general overview as far as how the game is played. As far as what I thought, it's not a bad little game. Light on strategy, which is fine sometimes. Sometimes you just need something light as opposed to heavy to get through like 20 or 30 minutes of your time. The pieces are nice. I mean, they're colorful. These gems are like Pente gems, if you've ever played Pente. These tiles, nice, big, and thick, so there's nothing wrong with that. Like, they won't bend or anything like that. No problem with the quality. Yeah, I would honestly recommend this game for smaller children or possibly a group of adults that just want to pass the time with a light strategy game. You can get it for like 20 bucks at Barnes & Noble. I think I've seen it online for $30 or $35. Prices may vary depending on where you shop. I would honestly not spend more than $20 on this game, but as it stands, it's a nice, light strategy game. If you guys want to see the full review, you can, www.dadsgamingaddiction.com. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you can keep up to date on any new content I've been to publish. This is Vince, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.